On this week's Loudini Rock and Roll Circus podcast, in honor of the passing of Taylor Hawkins, we're going to tell you everything you always wanted to know about Taylor, Dave, and the Foo Fighters. You're listening to the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus, changing rock history one podcast at a time. Moms and dads, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. My name is Lou Lombardi, a.k.a. Loudini. I am your ringmaster, or as they say on WNBC, they say, Loudini.
That's beautiful.
But I am your ringmaster, and we're here to have a good time despite our sadness at the passing of Taylor Hawkins. What I want everybody to know is if you've never listened to before, we are terribly, I'll just take responsibility. I am terribly irreverent and terribly ignorant on most things. Mm-hmm. So tonight will be no different.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not going to censor it. In the spirit, I think of Taylor Hawkins and Dave Grohl, and especially after watching Studio 666. I don't think they will have any problem with us goofing around while at the same time remembering Taylor Hawkins. I don't think it seems like the kind of guys that would have an issue with that.
Probably not. I feel like they would do the same thing.
Yeah,
exactly.
Oh,
he'd rip on you all day long. He would.
But anyways, guys, it is the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus where we bring you great music content every week. We pick an interesting topic, go around the room, talk about it, mix it up with the live audience as well. Sometimes share some cool indie music that you maybe haven't heard before. So check it out. By the way, speaking of music, the music you're hearing in the background is original music by me, Lou Lombardi. And you can find out more about that at loulombardimusic.com. So visit that. And that also gets you access to our private Facebook group where we, as I was saying before, get to mix it up with the audience during the podcast. Shout out to Wolf's Customs, wolfscustoms.online, or just find them on social media. Why would you want to do that? Because you need custom artwork on your musical instrument. It's totally sweet when you're up there and you got a really badass looking guitar because Chris Thunder Wolf Dodson at Wolf's Customs, put this really awesome paint job with this great artwork on it. So check them out. They're cool. They're cool folks. They've been supporters of the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus for a long time, and we do appreciate them. And speaking of supporters of the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus, there is rockrageradio.com, which is a 24/7 totally free rock music radio station. And you just get it through the app. Go to rockrageradio.com, download the app, totally free, and you can just listen to great music content like this show right here, as well as a show you may have heard of called Hot Licks with Lily Six.
With me.
And speaking of Lily Six, we are honored to always have Lily, a member of the Rock Rage cast here with us as well. So we've got Lily V6 from Rock Rage Radio. What's up, Lily?
What's up? How's everyone doing? I'm tired. I'm on a 5-day bender. So there's
nice.
that.
Well, if you're going to
There's
aspire
a band
to something.
Name, 5-day bender.
5-day bender.
What did I... Oh, you know what band name I thought? I was watching South Park while I was eating dinner.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
And Cripple Fight. Where Timmy and Jimmy fight. That was really good.
Oh, man.
That's a really good episode. It's like
Absolutely.
really good. That's the one where Big Gay Al is the scout master.
I don't watch it, so I'm not familiar with what you're talking about. Sorry. I tried. I couldn't.
Yeah.
In any case, we're not talking about South Park. Well, we might. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we talk about everything.
We'll probably circle back to South
Sprinkled
Park.
in there.
So anyways, we are going to be honoring, we're honoring, of course, Taylor Hawkins, drummer for the Foo Fighters, and we're going to kind of we have some backgrounds and bios and stuff like that, right, Lily?
Yeah.
So we want to just kind of give, kind of talk about it because it's, we all liked the band. We all thought Taylor was a cool dude. And so, what do you expect?
Part of
what
the
else would we do?
Part of the rock nice guy band.
Yeah, exactly. And this is also one of, as I was writing the email today, I apologize. I wanted to get it out sooner, but I was thinking this is the first time that we've been on top of something, as it happened.
Yeah.
Usually we're like, oh shit, we didn't mention that really, thing that happened.
Right.
And I am proud of myself, though. We did not do a show in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year. So,
hey, there you go.
But in any case, so we got to I was like, oh, so this is kind of cool that we get to we're actually on top of something for once.
We're not the most organized.
Yeah, no. We all have a lot going on. But let's talk about it personally for a second. Kevin, Pittsburgh Kevin is
hey
here,
everybody, I'm here.
So where were you? What were you doing when you heard?
Well, I was at work and missed a call from my daughter, and we'll usually text, so I know if I get a call from her, it might be something important. Called her back, and she goes, "Number one, I'm fine." I'm like, "Okay, good. I'm good. All right, good."
What a way to preface.
She goes, "But Taylor Hawkins died, and thank God nobody else was in the restaurant because I literally screamed."
Oh my gosh.
I literally screamed because the Foo Fighters are my spirit animal. They really are. They got me through some really tough times. And I actually left
But did
work.
they get you through some hard times?
That's what you're for.
Oh, here it is.
Hey, baby. I actually left work a little early.
Do not make me go all Will Smith on your ass. Will, stop. Come on, help me out here.
Oh! I just got the shit slapped out of me by Will Smith. But anyway, my daughter and I, we're both big Foo Fighter fans, and within 5 hours of learning of his passing, we both had the Foo Fighters tattoo on the back of our necks.
That's a true fan.
That's a true fan. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
Lily.
I'm pretty sure I woke up and saw it on Facebook, so I'm pretty sure I was just in my living room. But I'm not like a diehard Foo Fighters fan. I do love the band. It was sad. I'm always sad to hear when a musician passes, especially at a young age like that. So it was pretty devastating. So I was listening to Foo Fighters the last couple of days because of that. Mm-hmm. Like I said, it's not typically my go-to. I do like them. I don't love them. I'm not crazy for them.
Yeah.
But
I would say I'm with Lily in the sense that I think they're a great band, and I think Dave Grohl is just he's just the definition of cool.
Yep.
And I became aware of Taylor Hawkins. This is a kind of a two-part story. First of all, I was out at the Montour Trail running, and I told Spotify, you can make a radio station from a song. It'll say, you want to make a radio station out of the song. And I said, yeah, do that. It was some song that I liked. And I was just I wanted to be surprised, but I wanted something in the wheelhouse of
what you want to listen to, sure.
And so I was going along, and I heard a lot of good music that day, but I heard It's Not Bad Luck by Taylor Hawkins and the Coattail Riders. And I was I stopped and added it to my favorites. I'm like, damn, this is a really cool song. Taylor Hawkins and the Coattail. Didn't think about it.
Right.
And 6 months later, I was talking to Keith about something. He said, Taylor Hawkins from the Foo Fighters has his own band. I said, really? Yeah, Taylor Hawkins and the Coattail Riders. I'm like, that sounds really familiar. Yes, that's that. So I didn't really put it together who he was at that time. But how I heard about the death of the passing of, we don't say, death. We don't say the croaking of.
Right.
We have these certain words that are very euphemistic.
Very, yes.
Yeah. Anyways,
Passing.
when here's how I heard it. Here's what I was doing. You're not going to believe this, but I swear, I got my right hand up. Yes, I so solemnly swear. I was watching. The last 10 minutes of Studio 66.
666.
666.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Studio 666. I was watching the last 10 minutes of that, and I got a text from Keith.
Wow.
The other Hawkins.
That's crazy.
The other Hawkins, the other drummer Hawkins, yes.
who's also a drummer, by the way. And I was like gobsmacked. I'm like, oh my God.
I'm literally watching this.
I'm literally watching
Yeah,
this.
I'm watching. Yeah.
And it's a goofball horror comedy.
I still have to see it.
And I don't even know how good of a goofball horror comedy it is. The acting is just absolutely some of the worst acting I've ever seen in my life. But nonetheless, now I'm like really kind of conflicted as I'm watching it. I'm like, well, I was like, I probably shouldn't watch this now. And then I was like, yeah, but I want to see what's going to happen. And I sat here all this time, and it's late at night. And
It's
wanna
okay.
know. So I finished the movie in kind of like an awkward feeling kind of place. Like, it was very bizarre. Because if you guys, like I said, I don't know if anybody in the audience, has seen the movie. Has anybody seen it? I'm looking at the comments.
I don't see
I haven't
anything.
seen anybody talking about that. Is this Michael Goltz? Or is this Bill Damiani? You should speak of his death the way
That's
Johnson's
Goltz. It's
Graham
like
Chapman.
you know.
All right.
Yeah. Michael Goltz is a good dude. Anyways, that would be funny. I know what you're talking about, Michael, but I could not do it. I just couldn't think of it right now. But I'm familiar with what you're saying. But so it was like, so this thing happened, and I'm watching this movie, and like, so it was sad. I just felt really bummed out. I mean, just a really, really talented guy. Like, I was thinking today, like, Dave Grohl was like really respected drummer in rock, like really respected. Okay, so when Dave Grohl says, "Okay, I'm not gonna play drums. I need a drummer," like, how does that not fuck with your head?
Right.
Being his drummer, like, you know what I mean? It'd be like Kevin. It would be like Geddy Lee saying, "Well, I'm just gonna play keyboards." And
we need a
sing,
bass
and I
player.
need you to play bass. You know what I mean? You'd be like,
Wait a minute.
yeah. Like, that could just be like such an uncomfortable situation. I was watching before we started today, it was on YouTube, them on 60 Minutes, Australia. And it's just him and Taylor. And it was very cool. You can see, it really shows that what buddies they are. And so I feel bad. My heart goes out to those guys. I mean, that has to just got to suck royal dick. That's just got to be. Yeah. That's got to be.
It's like losing a brother. Those guys are really close.
And you are like that if you play with a band a long time. A lot of bands do get, there are the bands like the Police. They all hate each other. Motley Crue, bands like that. But you do. It does become a family. So let's go ahead. And what do you want? Do you want to do a kind of background on the Foo Fighters, or how do you want to start?
How do you want me to start? I have both.
Ooh.
Let's give an overview first of all of Taylor Hawkins.
Taylor Hawkins. Okay, great. He recorded 8 studio albums between 1999 and 2021 with Foo Fighters. Before joining the band in 97, and I actually didn't know this until today because I'm an idiot, apparently. He was the touring drummer for Sash Jordan and for Alanis Morissette. So he was the drummer for Alanis in my angsty 90s girl days.
Both,
So-
both Canadian artists, by the way.
And he was the drummer in the progressive experimental band Sylvia, which I have not heard yet. I did not have time to listen to that at work today. He did form his own side project, which Lou touched on earlier, Taylor Hawkins and the Coattail Riders. He played drums, sang, and they released 3 studio albums between 2006 and 2019. And he formed the supergroup NHC with Jane's Addiction members Dave Navarro and Chris Chaney in 2020, and he also took the lead vocal and drumming duties. They have a sole album due for release this year.
So it'll be released. Okay, this is a word that I love. Posthumous.
I don't like that word
Posthumous.
because I always say it wrong. Like he's doing.
Yes.
You have to sort of spit.
Well, that's what it is. You purposely mispronounce it, then people think you're just being funny.
Yeah, well,
Clean off your mic there. There you go.
I foiled my mouth.
Yeah, you did.
well, Hawkins is also an occasional studio session drummer, recording with Elton John, Miley Cyrus, Glenn Campbell, Perry Farrell, Stevie Nicks, Coheed and Cambria, which I know you like, I don't know why that's making that noise. Pink / Bob Mould and Eric
Pink
Avery.
Slash.
Pink Slash. That's a band name.
There's a band name.
All girl.
Yikes.
All girl band. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2021 as a member of Foo Fighters. And he was voted Best Rock Drummer in 2005 by the British drumming magazine Rhythm. What's cool about Rhythm magazine is he also was a guest editor on one of the issues. And he got to interview Phil Collins, Stuart Copeland, and Roger Taylor for that issue. And those are 3 of his influences. So pretty cool stuff.
Cool shit.
And I have a whole bunch of other stuff, but I didn't know if we wanted to get it all out in the open right now.
Wow, if you want to get it all out in the open.
Please.
Right.
Please. It's kind of crazy what you're saying.
I know.
Well, let's yeah, I was he was I knew he was you had more than I did. I knew he was the drummer for Alanis Morissette. I didn't know he played with Saz Jordan. And I do know that he did, and I couldn't recall all of them, but I did know that because of his fame with the Foo Fighters and the respect he was getting, that he was guesting on other
albums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they would,
Very
somebody
cool.
You would request.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of requesting drummers, and this is like, man, before Foo Fighters became like actually Foo Fighters, there was a Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers were having a falling out with their drummer at the time, and they had to play Saturday Night Live.
Yes. Yeah.
So they went on without their drummer, and they had Dave Grohl.
Yes.
Great.
And
great.
I tell you what, like when I remember sitting here, Stu and I were watching it, and we were both like
blown away.
yeah, like Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers would have become a totally different band.
Oh, exactly.
Him
If
and
Dave
it
were
would have been a
drumming, yeah.
completely different band. He is like when you both Stu and I were both like, that's the drummer I want in my band.
Yeah.
like that. He was like, he's the drummer you want.
So
like,
on fire.
yeah, I mean, the thing about drummers is they can really change the sound of a band. Like, it's so important. This is like why I kind of get arguments with people about Led Zeppelin, like, oh, they could have just got somebody else to play drums. Like, drums are like
They're the backbone.
no, they are like,
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many bands where, like, if you change the drummer, that band would be completely different. The Who is a good example. They were not the same band with Kenny Jones as they were with Keith Moon. Like, not even
Yes.
close.
Right.
The Police would not be the Police without
Stu.
Stuart
Yeah.
Copeland. Rush would not be
mean-
Rush on
That
the
is true,
Pair. Like,
yeah.
I mean, you listen to the first Rush album. That says everything. That's all you gotta do. Listen to the first Rush album and the rest of their catalog.
Yes.
It's like
You're right.
they're literally not the same
Right.
band.
Right.
And so the Foo Fighters are not going to be the same band without Taylor. If they choose to continue, I don't know if Dave will just kind of say, hey, we had our thing, and he's going to, because he is known to play with a lot of other people as
Right.
well.
Right.
That's one of those things that Dave Grohl is.
Dude,
What?
Dave Grohl should join Rush. Dude, right? I'm going to start a petition.
There it is.
You all right?
Will?
No.
That's enough. Will Smith your ass all day long, motherfucker.
I'm so glad he's guesting in the studio today.
Get my drummer's name out your fucking mouth.
You, sir.
Wow.
That would be hilarious. Dave Grohl calls up right now. Get my drummer's name.
Name out your
Sorry,
fucking
Dave.
mouth. Sorry, Dave. Okay. Yikes.
Wow.
I knew that, like, the combination of events in the past few days were going to make a very interesting
Holy
podcast.
We're on
knew
top of
this was
two
like-
current events.
I was like, I wasn't even going
Wow.
to look at the Will Smith thing on the internet. I was like, I'm not even going to look at it. But then I thought, podcast.
Yeah, there
There's
you go.
probably some
We
material
should look at
we
this.
could use.
And it did not disappoint.
No, thank you, Will. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That Dave Grohl dude, like, born in Warren, Ohio. That is very close.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has family here in Pittsburgh that lived here in Pittsburgh.
He's become one of the leading figures in rock today. Moved from Ohio to Virginia when he was 3 years old. The son of a journalist, English teacher, he lived with his mother and older sister Lisa after his parents divorced when he was 6. Grohl's interest in music emerged early. He started out playing guitar, and by the age of 10, Grohl formed the H.G. Hancock Band with a friend. Not long after, he was introduced to punk rock by one of his cousins. In high school, he played a string of punk bands and started smoking pot.
What?
We're done with this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize to my audience.
Just say yo to drugs.
Just say when to drugs and alcohol. After dropping out his junior year, he drops out because why? He's smoking pot. He's on the pot.
He's on the pot.
He's up there in his room.
He's smoking the dope.
On the pot, listening to punk.
The ganja man.
He's smoking the dope.
After dropping out of his junior year, he joined the Washington, D.C.-based hardcore band Scream. Grohl appeared on 3 of the group's albums and toured with them several times. During one tour, Grohl met up with members of the Melvins, the punk band.
Oh, boy.
It was backstage at the Melvins gig that he saw Kurt Cobain and Chris Novoselic from Nirvana for the first time in 1990. Grohl did not talk to his future bandmates that night, but thanks to Buzz Osborne of the Melvins, he did get to audition. Oh, by the way, Buzz Osborne has some fucking hilarious guitar videos on YouTube. He's like a maniac.
Really?
Like he just looks like he's like a combination of insane and I don't give a fuck. You know, he's if you get a chance, look it up. He has some where he teaches some of his songs. It's like
wow.
It's like no guitar lesson. Like I would pay extra for that lesson. But anyways, he did get to audition for Nirvana a year later. Grohl traveled to Seattle, hoping to become Nirvana's new drummer. As soon as he played for them, both Cobain and Novoselic thought he would be perfect for their band. He was a hard hitter. Yes, he is.
Yes, sir.
So bright, so hot, so vital. Novoselic said, according to the book Come As You Are, The Story of Nirvana by Michael Azrod. After joining the group, Grohl lived with Cobain for a time. He also dated Jennifer Finch from the all-female band L7 around this time. By the way, L7 is in the movie Serial Mom.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah,
really?
The camel toes or something. The camel, yeah. Yeah. Then anyways, so sorry, that's a little squirrel. My ADD's. I didn't take my medication today.
It's getting the better of him.
Soon, the major labels became interested in Nirvana, offering contracts and large advances. They ended up, the good old days, right? They ended up signing with Geffen Records. Their first release with them with 91's Nevermind became a huge hit, driven in part by the single Smells Like Teen Spirit. While while Cobain handled Freudian slip.
No, I think you're right. Cocaine.
I think because of Taylor, right?
Oh.
We're all going to do a bump.
No, we're not.
An ass bump.
Oh, okay.
While Cocaine handled most of the songwriting duties, all 3 band members had worked on the track, which combined elements of punk, metal, and pop. And even some boy, that's very poppy. The video for Smells Like Teen Spirit, offering a subversive take on a pep rally, got heavy play on MTV. Yes. In nearly a year's time, Nevermind sold more than 4 million copies. Nirvana, with raw, emotional sound, helped launch what was called the grunge movement.
Not
which
grudge.
The grunge.
Grunge.
I said grunge.
Grunge.
You said grudge.
And you said grunge.
I got
It's
some
tastes crunchy, even in milk.
You little-
They paved the way for other bands such as Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, blah, blah, blah. Cobain, we know that he
did that whole thing.
He offs himself.
Or did he?
So this is a little bit. It says
Yes.
that
Okay.
So he puts out this album, and this is what I kind of wanted to get to. It's not really a Foo Fight. It is a Foo Fighters album, but there's only one Foo Fighter,
Right.
Dave Grohl.
Dave. Yeah.
And I've seen him interviewed about this and saying that this was just like therapy.
Yeah.
You know, he felt like, he could. This is the way he grieved, was to go into the studio and there are so many records that become classic records that are done just like Stevie Wonder's Songs in the Key of Life. There's a couple of Prince albums. And so it's really interesting that how it worked out. So I think This Is a Call and I'll Stick Around are good. I do not like Big Me. I'm sorry. I just thought that's the one with the video is a parody of the Mentos.
Oh
commercial.
yeah.
As soon as you say that, everybody knows what's
Oh,
up.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah. I just was like, meh.
Nah.
So that's a sort of background on the Dave Grohl sort of story. You want to talk? Maybe fill in some gaps there on the Foo Fighters.
I can do that.
By the way, this is from biography.com. And there is no author listed. I do like to give credit where credit is due. And I have the links in the show notes and in the Facebook description. So,
Facebook.
Please go check these people out and, see what you like. Go ahead, Lily.
Like you said, the band was founded by Dave Grohl as a one-man project following the dissolution of Nirvana after Kurt Cobain killed himself or however he died, whatever.
After his wife put a contract
Yes.
on him?
Yeah,
And then he happened to
contract.
kill himself because he was so depressed that his wife put a contract out on him, so he killed himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he was suicided.
The group took its name from Foo Fighter, nickname coined by Allied aircraft pilots for UFOs and other aerial phenomena.
Right.
Over the course of their career, Foo Fighters have won 12 Grammy Awards,
Wow.
including Best Rock Album 4 times. Inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, like I said earlier. Prior to the release of Foo Fighters' 1995 debut album, Foo Fighters, which featured Grohl as the only official member.
By the way, the word debut has a T at the end. Just so.
Debut.
Debut.
Debut. We should say that. From now on, we'll refer to Kurt Cobain as Kurt Cocaine, and we'll say debut. We'll say debut.
I'll
Debut.
forget to say it.
What? In
In the butt. The band began with performances in Portland, Oregon. Goldsmith quit during the recording of their second album, The Color of the Shape. Color and the Shape, I'm sorry. Most of
Color of the shape.
I'm-
What? With the color and the shape of what?
I'm seeing sounds. Most of the drum parts were re-recorded
and
by
purple,
Grohl.
but it wasn't
my
his heart.
God. And then Smear departed soon afterwards, but appeared as a guest with the band frequently from 2005. He rejoined in 2010. And then, of course, comes in Franz Stahl and Taylor Hawkins.
Franz!
That's all right, Saz. I remember when I joined. It was fun.
Oh my God, I hate you guys so
I'm
much.
Hans,
And Franz.
and we're here to pump you up.
I'm leaving.
No, stay.
Hugh,
We're sorry.
Hugh up.
Yeah.
Where's Hugh? Send Hugh in. We want you to pump him up.
Foo Fighters have been described as grunge, alternative rock,
What the fuck?
Consummate professional.
post-grunge, hard rock, and pop rock. They were initially compared to Grohl's previous group, Nirvana. Yes, I hate you. Dave Grohl said that Kurt Cobain was an influence on songwriting. I don't know what else to say
This
right
is
now.
the most disrespectful podcast we've ever
Right.
recorded.
But this is the way he would have wanted
Get
it.
your drummer name out your fucking mouth.
The band members meld melodic and heavy elements. Grohl noted in 1987, "We all love music, whether it's the Beatles or Queen or punk rock. I think the lore of punk rock was the energy and immediately the need to thrash stuff around. But at the same time, we're all suckers for beautiful melody, So it's just natural."
Yep.
And that's what I have for the Foo Fighters.
Yeah, that's they were very multifaceted. They had that punk thing, but when I heard the Foo Fighter album, I was like, you could still tell that it was like there was a Nirvana thing going on, but it was like different. Like there was like more. I heard more stuff that sounded like more traditional rock and roll in places and things like that. But the second album that they did was where I really felt they were starting to find who they really were. Like Monkey Wrench. That was like, I thought it was like, okay, that song is like, I was like, this is real rock and roll. I mean, like you could get up and boogie to this. And super catchy, but super heavy and heavy rock in the sense that not metal, but and I just remember thinking that like it was like, okay, we're still rocking, it's not over,
Yep.
And they went through, look, they was 23 years, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess at the 20th anniversary, Dave was here's what he was thinking about doing was like he said, well, maybe we should go back and re-record the first album since I did all the parts myself.
Oh,
Let's
yeah,
do
okay.
see what it would
Sure,
sound like
sure.
with all of us together. And Taylor Hawkins talked him out of it. He said fans will fucking hate that. They want to remember that record. And
I guess, yeah. I
mean,
can see that.
there have been people that have done that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like both Styx. And there's another band. There's Styx, and there's a couple of them that went back and re-recorded their stuff with their new singer and stuff
Journey
like that.
did that, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
And
Yeah. Okay.
and
That makes
they do.
sense.
It gets played on the radio.
Yeah.
They don't tell you the difference.
Wow.
They
But
don't
you and
tell-
I can hear it.
You can
Yeah,
kind of
we-
if you're really listening, you can really hear it, but they don't tell you the difference. And that's because, like, I know that Styx said that they got sick and tired of every time it got played on the radio that Dennis DeYoung got
Yeah.
performance. Now, he was always going to get songwriting, publishing rights because he wrote the songs, but they were pissed that he was
Yeah.
getting performance rights and he wasn't in the band and it wasn't a happy, parting,
Right.
But fans tend to fucking hate that. And then and Lily, I think you and I have talked about the bullshit that Sharon Osbourne did with
Oh, yeah.
bringing the guys to come back and re-record Curse Lakes.
Yeah. We've talked about that a lot, actually. Yeah.
And
Which
after
is
those
ridiculous.
guys wrote that shit, and it just was like, I've never heard it. And the fans fucking hate it. I mean, it's got a lot of hate online just for the idea of what they did.
Yeah.
This was just, and Ozzy has kind of disowned it as well. But in any case, we're digressing a little bit. So that was, I think, the kind of thing that Taylor was kind of concerned that they would be viewed as.
Yeah, I
you know
can
what I
see
mean?
that.
So it
Yeah.
kind of cheapens this thing. And that record is important. That first record is important because of the reason why it was created,
Exactly.
where it came from
Yeah.
emotionally for
Yeah.
Dave Grohl.
Yeah.
It has that impact on it. You know what I mean? The people felt lost. I mean, when Kurt Cobain died, they really did.
Oh,
I mean,
it was-
what do you
yeah,
do?
it was a-
What do you now?
yeah,
Huge
they weren't-
thing.
yeah, it was a huge thing. I mean, grunge was just kind of getting going, and other bands were kind of coming into the thing, and and the industry did what it always does, which is tries to find the replacement. So you had bands like this band gets way too much hate, but you get bands like Bush.
I like Bush.
I love Bush. What? Anyway.
I'm
Sorry
not
about
typically a
that.
90s band fan, but Bush is
Yeah,
one of them.
Yeah.
You better get my wife's Bush out your mouth.
Oh!
Would have been better if I didn't fuck up the joke.
Yeah, right? Well,
Next time.
So we'll
This
fix
is for
that.
fucking up the joke.
There you go.
Sorry,
You
sorry,
fix
Will.
that in post-production.
I never go back and edit anything.
I know, right? Why?
Screw it.
It's so good.
Hell with it.
One thing I do want to talk about with the Foo Fighters is they this was fun when I read it. They have fun with their tour riders.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Go ahead.
okay.
So for those who don't know what a tour rider is, it's like they want the brown M&Ms in the jar and the kind of food they want, and if they want water and coffee, this whole thing. But over the years, they've developed a funny habit for creatively utilizing their tour riders. In 2011, they famously turned the rider for their Wasting Light tour into a full-length coloring book. Complete with amusing activity pages that lightly reminded venues and promoters which foods the band members like to consume.
Nice.
One page asks the reader to circle items that belong in a salad, hinting that items such as a hammer, a tooth, Richard Pryor, and a UFO are not appropriate. So that's fun. That's the kind of band they are. They're a fun, kind of lighthearted rock band.
Right on.
Another thing I want to circle back to the name for a second because if you think about like the pilots called them Foo Fighters because Americans thought that they were German like advanced aircraft and the Germans thought they were American advanced
Right,
aircraft. So
right.
nobody knew who they were really representing or what side they were really from or whatever, what there was really behind them. So it was like kind of a mystery. And if you think about the album, especially the first album, it's like it's all Dave Grohl, but like really who are the Foo
Who is it?
Yeah, who
Who-
are the Foo Fighters?
Yeah.
It wasn't like Dave Grohl. He didn't call the album Dave Grohl's
Right. It's like,
Rides
ooh, it's
Again
a
or something.
mystery.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gave it a band name, but it was all one guy, so it sort of has that same thing. So it's a clever name if you think about kind of what they were doing.
Clandestine. You're not sure what's going on. Exactly.
And also, the record company was called Roswell.
Yes, that is
So-
true.
Would make sense.
Ah, see?
It just, what is going on there?
Maybe Dave's an alien.
Oh, that's Michael.
Yeah, Michael Goltz.
That's right.
put
He
in
wrote a whole thing.
Wrote a whole thing describing in great detail the Graham Chapman.
Oh, did he?
John Cleese.
Are Bush and Hole related? I just died. I just died, Michael.
I heard they were touring together.
Oh!
Wow.
That's beautiful.
That's great.
There's a band named Bush Hole.
I'm still on Pink Slash.
Pink Slash.
Pink Slash, Bush Hole. Tonight, Civic Arena.
Cripple Fight.
Cripple Fight. Opening band. Wow. Folks, you're getting your money's worth tonight. Exactly.
Oh my goodness. That's
Good stuff.
Yeah. I don't know, man. So Pittsburgh Kevin is like a massive Foo Fighters fan.
Sure.
And you got the tattoo.
You got the tattoo.
So
And
give
the
us-
daughter
tell
got
us
the
some- tell us
the
some-
daughter got the
so
tattoo.
here's so
too.
Lily and I
She got
aren't
the
as big.
tattoo too.
Tattoo too?
Yeah, go ahead.
The plane. Hey.
Why did I feel like that was coming? I don't know.
You
So-
just know us.
I do.
So
It's terrifying.
So tell us some interesting Foo Fighters. Listen, you're a big fan. You see them live.
I've seen him twice and was going to see him a third time in May, but
Guess you're not doing that now.
probably not. No. For those folks that want to know more about them, they have so many documentaries and things like that. A real good one is Back and Forth, which basically is a documentary about the band, how the band came together. Interviews all the people in it. Taylor's in it, Pat Smear, Nate's, Chris, of course, Dave. That's a really good one to watch. But Dave is one of those guys who's he's so excited about rock and roll. He's always doing something. Really like their Sonic Highways, I guess you would call it, series, where they decide to record an album, but they actually go to different recording studios throughout the United States. And they learn about the city. They went to New York, Memphis, all these different places. And New Orleans, that was a really good one, where they go down in the quarter and actually play in one of those old juke joints and just open the front
probably were there.
doors. Yeah, it was so fantastic. And of course, Sound City, where Dave eventually goes and gets the soundboard, the Neve soundboard.
Oh,
from
that is a
something.
great documentary.
That's a great
If you're a
documentary.
Foo Fighters fan or just a rock fan, is check out Sound City.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Very good. And the folks on the local radio station, the one DJ is like, Dave, it's okay to say no every now and again. And we talked about Studio 666. Very campy, very, schlocky. I liked it because I'm a Foo Fighters fan. Not the best movie in the world. It really isn't. But you know what? Lily goes. There's a lot of
I'm
laughs.
sure I'll enjoy it.
There's a lot of laughs in it. Yeah. So.
I like stuff like that, though, so it's okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Studio 666. I did watch the whole thing. Yeah.
Well, the thing about
There's some hilarious, but there are some guest appearances too.
Right.
Oh, fun.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that are very cool. That
Yes.
you'll really like.
Okay.
And it's funny, like the music that they produce, that the band is like making in the story. I don't think I'm really spoiling anything. They're a band. You're not supposed to.
Why did you guys say that?
How did they weren't supposed to make? You
Stupid
didn't tell me they were
ass.
making music. You ruined the movie for me. They're a band, so they're gonna make music in a movie.
Yeah.
Surprise.
What?
But it is.
No.
But the music they're making in the movie is supposed to be kind of a joke, but you're going like, it's actually pretty good.
It's actually not bad,
yeah,
right?
it's like,
Yeah.
it's
You're
actually
like,
good. I'm kind of digging this.
Wait a minute. But
It's very cool. The guy though that I think really kind of stole every scene that he was in was Pat Smear.
I love Pat
The
Smear.
way I mean,
Nice.
when you see the movie, I think you're gonna know what I'm talking about. He's like,
Yeah.
he's like, there's something about
Oh,
him.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
There's something
Okay.
about him. You just kind of
Yeah.
like, you kind of
Love
like
that guy.
kind of like that guy. Kind of that guy.
But think about it. Pat has been in three legendary bands. You know what I mean?
The Germs.
The Germs, of course.
He's in the movie, the Decline of Western Civilization.
Right. Young
And he's like
17
really
or 18
young.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
like a teenager.
Then Nirvana,
Yeah.
right? And then the Foo Fighters. That guy, I like that guy. He's very cool.
Yeah.
But let me tell you about the last show I saw, which like really cemented them with me. So the show's over, and a band comes out maybe to two, maybe three if you're lucky, encore songs,
Right.
So the lights kind of go down and stuff, and the screen behind the stage, it all of a sudden there's like an image of the guys backstage. And Dave kind of mouths the words, "Do you want more?" Of course, the crowd erupts. He goes, "Yeah, want one more song?" We're like, "Yes!" And he kind of rubs his chin, and he's like, and he holds up 2 fingers, like, "2 more? Yeah, 2 more songs! Woo!" And he kind of looks at the camera. He's like, holds up 3 fingers, right? Well, we're going crazy. Yes, 3 more songs, right? So he gets it up to like 4 or 5, and Taylor comes over. And he kind of, and there's no audio. It's just him mouthing the words. And he says, he basically tells Taylor, we're going to go do 4 encore songs. And Taylor holds up 5 fingers, right? We go crazy, right? And Dave, it cuts back to Dave. Dave kind of shakes his head like, all right, yeah, we'll do 5, They cut back to Taylor, and he holds up 6. So Dave's now just looking at him. Taylor looks at the camera, holds up 7 fingers. And they cut back to Dave, and Dave mouths the words, "Fuck you." And they came out and did a 7-song encore.
You like had a second show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. It was, oh my God.
That's awesome.
And it's funny because
I'd be like, I'm not saying for this, I'm too tired.
He would.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. And the last song was just as energetic as the first song. But it was at the PPG Arena, and basically concerts end at 11.
Yeah, that's
right?
kind of a thing there. Yeah. No.
Like, it was like well past midnight.
Wow.
And Dave even said, he goes, "We don't give a fuck. We're partying." I'm like, that's very cool.
It's very badass of
Yes.
Wow.
As opposed to some bands that come out and just do 7 songs and that's it. We're done.
Peace. Bedtime.
Yep.
Okay, I have something to share.
Okay.
No, not that. Okay. 12 little known facts about Foo Fighters.
Okay.
We know about the name already, so we
Yes.
don't have to talk about that. We did mention this, but 7 months after Kurt Cobain's death tragically put an end to Nirvana, Dave sat in as drummer for Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, performing the songs "Honey Bee" and "You Don't Know Jack." When they played on Saturday Night Live after the gig, Petty offered Grohl a full-time spot in the band, but Grohl turned down the offer so he could start Foo Fighters.
Yeah, he said hanging up the phone after talking to Tom was just like, am I sure I'm going to do this? Very cool.
Yes, we mentioned already that he did. He was a one-man band for the album. We do know that Taylor did play with Alanis Morissette.
Yes.
We did talk about the tour riders.
Yes. Look at that. We know it all.
We know all the things.
Grohl likes to play with a lot of other bands, and some of the
Duh.
people he's worked with, including Nine Inch Nails, Queens of the Stone Age, Killing Joke. That's a Monty Python reference.
Is it?
Yes, it is. There's a really famous skit where the guy make a joke. They like in the military, like it's like top secret. Military makes a joke.
yeah.
And like they tell it
Wow.
like the enemy's dying laughing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I don't know if how many people realize that band with their name is a Monty Python reference. Garbage and Tenacious D.
Yeah.
Of course.
They have an odd. Did we talk about this?
We did not.
They have an odd affiliation with Prince. In 2003, Foo Fighters made a cover of Prince's hot song, Darling Nikki.
Darling Nikki's really
Apparently, Prince wasn't too happy at the time and told the group they should write their own tunes. In fact, Foo Fighters still run into licensing issues anytime they try to include that cover in any official release, which is why it had to be cut from the group's CD edition of cover songs. However, 4 years later, in 2007, Prince covered Foo Fighters' track "Best of You" during his now legendary Super Bowl halftime performance. Then, fast forward another 4 years, Prince decides he wants to make all cover songs illegal. Oddly enough, this was right around the same time that Prince invited Dave to jam with him, a session during which they supposedly did a rendition of Led Zeppelin's classic "Whole Lotta Love."
That's
Granted, Prince has always been a puzzling purple enigma, but he seems to have had pretty mixed emotions when it comes to covering his music. So it's interesting. That's weird. But I remember when Prince did the halftime show and he sang that Foo Fighters song. I was like, dude, I thought it was like the coolest fucking thing.
That was
like
one of
I'd
the
ever
best
heard.
halftime shows.
Yep. And this is something that Pittsburgh Kevin will enjoy.
Yes?
The Trini Lopez guitar
Right.
that Dave Grohl plays. If you're fortunate enough to have ever seen Foo Fighters live in concert, you might have noticed Grohl using a sweet blue and white guitar at some point during the performance. He actually plays it quite a bit.
Yep.
It's in a lot of videos and stuff too. It's a Gibson Trini Lopez that was custom made for him with Impellum blue finish.
Yep.
Guitar looks much like an ES335, only with a
hockey
F holes,
stick.
and it's not a
hockey stick
it's
headstock.
hockey stick
Yeah.
headstock. Yeah. Trini Lopez was an American singer, guitarist, and actor. His first album included a cover version of Pete Seeger's "If I Had a Hammer," which earned a golden disc for him. His other hits included "Lemon Tree," "I'm Coming Home," "Cindy," and "Sally Was a Good Old Girl."
She sure was. What? Oh.
So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of, they're referencing Trini Lopez there, and you might go, who in the fuck is Trini fucking Lopez?
I know Trini is.
Trinity.
Not Trinity.
Not Trinity, like
Not
from The Matrix.
Right. Although I'd play her headstock. Oh, boy.
Wow.
Yes.
They won't do anniversary shows. They hate that. They don't want to go out and do it's the 20th anniversary of our album. Bands do that.
Let's
and they
go
out-
through the
A
whole
lot.
album.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I saw the Black Crowes. I liked it, but I see where Dave's point of view
He doesn't
is.
want to do what everybody else does. So.
He's never had any formal music training at all, and the Foo Fighters are David Letterman's favorite band.
Yes, I did
Yep.
know that.
The Foo Fighters.
So, the guy breaks his leg on stage.
Right?
He says that he didn't feel any pain. He just went to stand up, and it was like sausage.
Oh,
It's just like,
It just wouldn't do anything. And he got on the mic. He says, "Guys, I think I broke my leg."
it's hysterical. I'm
And so they
sorry.
take him off
It's-
stage, and they rig something up, and he comes back out and finishes the fucking show.
that's
sitting
that.
down.
There you go.
So
That's rock and roll.
That's rock and roll. That goes to show you what like a classy dude this is. Another a cool Dave Grohl story I heard, and I'm sure like a lot of people in the business have cool Dave Grohl stories, but Eddie Trunk on his show one time was talking about how I don't know when this was, I don't know, 10 years ago or something like that, but they were trying to get this concert for charity off the ground. It was at some park.
Oh, I know
in
the story, yeah.
California. I can't remember where. Somewhere, I don't know if it was in Los Angeles or San Francisco, or, someplace. And, they had some mid-level bands playing and stuff like that. And Dave Grohl came walking. He just happened to be walking by.
He was grocery shopping.
Well, he said
Or something like that.
He said to he saw and he saw Eddie, and he knew Eddie, so they started talking. And he's like, "Listen, man," he says, "I'm on my way to get milk for my kids." He says, "Let me do that. I'll go run home and get some sticks. He would help you out if I, maybe sat in. Would they? No, he said, would they let me? Will they let me sit in?
Yeah. Will they?
Yeah,
Will they
yeah,
let me sit in?
And so he did, and before you know it, like other people found out during the day that he was there, and it brought more people and some other musicians. And he told him he would help him out next year, and it was just very cool. I never asked for any money or or anything like that. I mean, he's that kind of guy.
And that's why we love Dave Grohl.
Yeah. The sad thing about Taylor, apparently, this was a drug situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, he struggled in the past and actually OD'd in London.
Heroin, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And from what I understood, he had gotten himself clean, but
Not according to
Still
this.
a little dirty.
yeah.
Little.
Yeah, unfortunately. So
10
but-
substances in his system.
Wow.
I read a really astute post about musicians and addiction by a buddy of mine who he and his name's Bobby Kunkel. He plays with the band Nomad. He's a really talented drummer. Speaking of drummers, he's very good. But he had and I'm gonna sort of paraphrase what he was saying, was that like what happens is this isn't like being a plumber or like I have an auto repair business. Like it isn't like this is like no, you can't call off sick.
Right.
You can't go like like I'm tired. I'm having a personal day. Nothing like that.
Mental health day.
And, yeah,
Yeah.
nothing like that. And you get you do get psychologically burned out, but a lot of times you're just sick. You know what I mean? And somebody offers you something that not only is going to make you feel better, but make you feel like the best you've ever felt in your entire life.
Yep.
You're gonna. It's hard to say no to that.
Right.
Very, very, very difficult to say no to that. And before you know it, that feels so good. You want to keep feeling that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you realize, well, if I take more, I'll feel even better. You know. And so it spirals out of control from there. It's not. So I know that a lot of folks, tend to get, rough with folks that have these issues, but it's a situation. You have to kind of, put yourself in other people's shoes sometimes, right, Lily?
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
Exactly.
So that's it, guys. Go check out Dave Grohl, the Foo Fighters. And, go have a few drinks this week and, get out your old Foo Fighters records, watch some Foo Fighter videos on YouTube. Go see Studio 666. I don't want to say too much about it because I don't like to spoil it for people. You don't know, go check it out. So Dave Grohl, Taylor Hawkins, rest in peace. We, thank you so much for all the great music that you've given us. So we still have some business to do this evening. We are not done.
No.
Not even close.
Wait,
No.
there's more.
Wait. What? Oh my goodness gracious. So what I need here is to go here.
Yeah, go there.
So Lily, why don't you tell people about your show and what's going on?
Sure. My show is Hot Licks with Lily Six. It's on Thursdays on Rock Rage Radio. You could go to the website, rockrageradio.com, or just download the app for free. Like Lou said earlier, it is 24/7 music and interviews and all kinds of good stuff. I have a lot of really great interviews coming up. I don't want to spoil anything, so just listen in on Thursday, 6 o'clock.
Cool. Okay. Sounds good. Let me pause this real quick. And we have to on that because I need a different atmosphere for what I'm doing.
Oh no.
Okay. So it is time once again.
Yeah.
Lyrics with Loudini.
Oh my God.
It's like my most favorite time.
Here we go.
And this song was a request from Bill Damiano. I believe Bill Damiano requested this.
I think so.
Thanks, Bill.
And, so we're going to go ahead. I'm going to get a little bit of whiskey.
Yes, please do.
We should get you a beret.
You, right?
Raspberry beret.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh.
This is kick up a little water.
You need
So
more-
today's
need water?
selection for Lyrics with Loudini
Yes. Do tell.
Oh,
is
Bill's listening in now.
I bet he is.
for Lyrics with Loudini is Barbie Girl
Ooh.
by the I believe they're like a one-hit wonder. I could be wrong.
I
Somebody
would
tell
say
me if
yes
they're
to that.
Yeah.
Aqua,
Aqua. See.
like Aquaman.
Yeah, Aqua. Yeah.
And so we're gonna go ahead and present the lyrics for you.
Yeah.
Now, so let's go ahead and just so it starts out with a spoken kind of thing at the beginning,
Sure.
which I might as well go ahead and include.
Okay.
Okay, and let's make sure that this is not going to be something. This is no copyright. Okay, we don't coipy. What does that say?
No coipy.
No coipy. No coipy. Right.
No coipy for you.
Okay. Okay. So
Wow.
Wow.
I'm doing multiple things. I apologize. Those of you that aren't.
You're multitasking.
Yeah. So it starts out with the spoken thing. I'm going to go ahead and do that as well. This is very, very repetitive. When I listened back to Poker Face, I realized we didn't have to
Yeah.
the
you
repetitive
could-
thing. Now,
yeah.
I want to encourage you guys. We don't want to talk over each other.
Okay.
But whenever there's a pause, if you want to inject a comment or
Yes.
just laugh or make a
Oh.
groan.
Yes.
Like I do.
You know,
Very
just
well.
feel
As
free,
you do.
because we noticed too that when we listened back to it, that made, when those things happened, it made it more entertaining.
Us enjoying
Yeah.
the lyrics along with you. Yes.
I
Okay.
can't.
Oh boy.
Sip of happy juice.
Hold on, let me have a drink too.
Okay, so here we go. Hiya, Barbie. Hi, Ken. Want to go for a ride? Sure, Ken. Jump in. Like Mr. Microphone. We'll be back to pick you up in an hour.
Nice.
Let me get this more in front of me so I don't. Less likelihood. I'm going to fuck it up anyways, but
It's okay.
I can mitigate it a bit. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life in plastic. It's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination. Life is your creation.
I'll bet.
Come on, Barbie. Let's go party. So Ken has like it's like a call and response.
Right.
So Ken jumps in with some stuff. at times.
Okay,
So,
sure, as you do, yeah.
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life is plastic. It's fantastic. Okay, you press, but we did this. Okay, now this next verse has caused some controversy.
Of
course.
Okay, so look, if you've never heard the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus before, I would just you haven't figured it out after listening for an hour so far. Like I don't. Politically correct doesn't really mean anything to me.
No.
Insensitivity, I don't know the definition of.
Nope.
And if the way I look at it is you take offense. That's how.
And you know how to click the button.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
You can always change the channel. So here we go. I'm a blonde bimbo girl in a fantasy world. Blonde bimbo.
Yeah.
Dress me up, make it tight. I'm your dolly.
That's dirty.
Yes.
You're my doll, rock and roll. Here's Ken. Feel the glamour in pink. Kiss me here, touch me there, hanky panky.
I used to make my Barbies do it.
What?
There are like pictures of like Barbie and Ken and Barbie engaging in like BDSM and stuff like that.
Sure.
Yeah, people pose them and stuff. You can touch, you can play. If you say, I'm always yours. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life is plastic. It's fantastic. You can brush my hair and dress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation. Make me walk, make me talk. Do whatever you please. I can act like a star. I can beg on my knees. Jump in, bimbo friend. Let's do it again. Hit the town full around. Let's go party.
Yes.
Wow. It's going to be my theme song when I go out now.
And there is a lot of come on, Barbie, let's go party and blah, blah, blah. The chorus, I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life is plastic. It's fantastic. Repeats several times. And that's pretty much the lyrics.
And then the speaking part at the end.
Right.
Oh, I'm having so much fun.
Well, Barbie, we're just getting started. Oh, I love you, Ken. So,
See?
it's true love. So let's
Obviously.
talk about this song because I knew I could tell when I read the lyrics that like there's more going on in this song than meets
Just
the
a Mattel toy.
Yeah, there's a little bit more.
what
There's
they're
some
talking
social commentary going. Now, I did a Google search, and I'm gonna kind of poke a little fun at this article. Bertia Nevada. Mm-hmm. This is from December of 2020. And the article is entitled "The Dark Side of the Wildly Popular Barbie Girl Song." Ooh. And this is from Medium.com. So Ms. Nevada is really kind of put off with, I'm a blonde bimbo in a fantasy world. Dress me up, make it tight, I'm your dolly. She says these are just a couple lines from the globally famous superhit Barbie girl. If you think this is disturbing, wait till you read the other verses.
Oh. Controversy. I love it.
Can't.
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life is plastic. It's fantastic. Okay. Well, it's a song about a doll. I guess it's okay if Barbie finds life in plastic pretty fantastic. That's all she's got.
I
You
mean-
do you, Barb, right? You can brush my hair and dress me everywhere. Imagination. Life is your creation. Yikes. She's singing that you can brush her hair and undress her. I mean, if she's singing to Ken, that's good for her. But seriously, this is the song that millions of, maybe even billions of kids listen to. Little girls chanting, undress me everywhere, mindlessly. Hell no. Okay, so this is somebody who's like really wound really.
It has way too much time.
Yeah.
But does
yeah.
she know where the Barbie doll actually came from? Because I have a back history.
Well, no, there's no need for violence.
I have a back history
Sit
on
down,
that.
Sit down. Will, I'm sorry, Lily. What were you saying?
There's a back history on where the Barbie doll actually came from, and it's not clean by any stretch of the
Well, what
imagination.
is it? Tell me.
She was
So there was a sex toy doll for grown men called the Lily doll. Yes, I know. And it was a
Nice.
European thing that they sold in sex shops. I'm
Yes,
serious.
that's
Look this
good,
up.
yeah.
And this is where the Barbie doll idea came from, except for it wasn't a sex doll. It was a doll that you dressed up and made pretty and had blonde hair and everything. But it's actually a very dark background of where the Barbie doll actually came from.
I'm just thinking about the Lily doll.
Yes, that was her name. It was actually called the Lily doll.
Okay, I'm a blonde bimbo girl in a fantasy world. And there we've completely crossed a line. I'm not going to point out why the word bimbo is problematic. Maybe you should, because don't understand. We can all agree how offensive that is. No, we can't.
I don't care.
No.
I don't.
Nine.
It's a descriptive word. You know, there are certain words that you say that just completely describe. When you say bimbo, you got the picture, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we know
Right?
what
You
it
know
is.
exactly
Sure.
you know exactly what it is. Like it's not like, calm down.
Simadonna.
I mean,
Simmer down. Oh, I should have that. I gotta simmer down.
I still say that. So
What?
I do say
Come
bims
on
all
now.
the time.
Come on, Nevada. Sound it out. Sound it. Simmer. Don. Nah. Simmer down now. Okay, so, and she's concerned about the phrase make it tight. Also, make what tight?
What?
Whether it's the outfit or something much more sexual.
We don't have
It's
My
real
pants
not
are
bodies.
okay.
tight.
this is a lot of finger wagging in this article.
Yes.
It's
yes.
not okay.
Naughty.
Kiss me here, touch me there, hanky panky. That cleared up our doubts about what was
There we
insinuated.
go. See?
What, don't you remember when we all liked sexy songs?
Yeah, I still do that.
What's wrong with being sexy?
Exactly.
You knew it was coming.
all the songs were, that's what you sang about.
Sexy.
Right.
Right.
Kevin and I, we're going to do we were talking about this on Friday. We're going to do a podcast on not the thing that killed rock and roll, but the things that did. And one of them is this total stick up your butt about
Ow.
sex.
Yeah.
You guys are like, you make the moral majority look like a fucking swingers party.
And y'all know you're out there licking everybody's buttholes, so I don't even want to hear about it.
The hypocritical BS that goes on is just like is like it's encyclopedic.
Yes.
Like this is a pop band. I was gonna say a rock band. Technically,
It's
somebody,
pop, yeah.
no, but it's the same idea. You know
Right,
what I mean?
Yeah. There's pop songs about that too, so it's fine.
Hanky panky, great. Forget sexual undertones. This song outright says some very raunchy,
Holy
not to
cow.
mention sexist drivel.
this
And
written
somehow
by
managed to become a kid's classic. Ah!
It's not really a kid's classic.
Not really.
Well, there is a kid's element to it. We're going to get to that.
I get it.
She points something out that happens
Okay.
later on. Make me walk, make me talk, do whatever you please. I can act like a star. I can beg on my knees. Yeah. She basically says she'll do whatever Ken or anyone else pleases and that she can beg on her knees. You know what? Do you remember Kevin and I went to a Christian high school? And these are the kind of talks we
Yes,
would get
yes.
from like the real religious folks there.
They would-
pastor, so they would pick out a pop song and they would dissect.
We had to do that too.
Woman could join the moral majority. Mm-hmm. She's probably a lesbian,
Oh, don't
except for the
badmouth-
fact that she's a lesbian.
Don't badmouth lesbians.
My mom says if you want to be a lesbian, you have to chew on this box.
Okay, let's get back to this. Let's get back to the lyrics.
A rational adult need not explain why this is inappropriate for children. Dude, I remember I was somewhere and there were little girls dancing around to the song "Sexy Back" and they were singing all
Right.
the words.
Right.
Yes. So
It's not different for anything.
Come jump in, bimbo friend. Let's do it again. Hit the town full around. Let's go party. Bimbo friend. You could tell like she was probably
She's mad.
angry.
She
as
was
she
angrily
typed the word
typing.
bimbo friend. She probably hated typing. She's probably angry she had to type the word bimbo. If my soulmate ironically calls me a bimbo friend, you best believe I will be tearing him a new one, and then and there.
Yeah, I believe
You
it.
don't say.
I don't think the song is about her soulmate. Well, it could be. Who are you to judge?
I think it's your fuck buddy.
You don't know what. You don't know what. Well, wait a minute. You don't know two folks that care for each other, what they like to call each other. That's
Right.
between them.
Yeah,
Who the hell are you?
None of your goddamn
Self-righteous
business.
bullshit. Yeah, it's just. It's
You know,
just
I
kinda-
just have. Remember Miss Hathaway from the Beverly Hillbillies?
Yeah.
I imagine her at a typewriter, right?
Yeah. We're all mere bimbo friends. I don't know what they mean by fool around. I would rather
You
not
don't know that? Well,
Okay.
obviously you need to stop.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, baby, you want to go fool around?
What do you mean?
So basically,
I
if
would make
Ken
fun of
or
someone.
Barbie's partners, I don't know, it's been a decade since I thought about Barbie, commits to her, he can do anything he pleases, and Barbie just becomes his. This is a beautiful, meaningful message right here.
It is. That's beautiful.
Well, if he commits to her,
Yeah,
he should be able to do
your
whatever
problem?
he pleases. Like, you know, I mean, there's not like, there's this thing called conjugal rights. Wow, I'm
And
probably
conjugal visits.
And this is the end of
the last
Loudini.
podcast we ever do.
For anyone that shares this opinion.
Oh Lord. Heavens to Betsy.
I mean, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're
That's
in a
very-
relationship,
that's
right,
very naive.
You know how adults have. How do adults have relationships? They screw.
They don't shake each other's hands.
They don't sit down and hold hands and
say,
you know
"Ah."
whisper sweet nothing and pitch woo.
You just broke my brain.
Pitch woo.
They're courting. Those two are courting.
They're cornholing too.
Whoa.
Courting and cornholing.
That's a VH1
Courting and
courting and cornhole.
Maybe she just needs laid.
behind the
I
music.
think she does, but
It's the Aqua story. Courting and cornholing.
Wow. I'm sure they would love that you just said that.
I hope nobody's listening to this right now.
Oh, Bill and Chris are.
sorry.
Bill and
Somebody's-
Chris are having a great time with it.
Sorry, guys.
Wow, look what I just caused.
Oh, wait, nice.
I know that's why you guys picked this shit, because you know I'll go off. And there will be no filter. There will be no filter. So who wrote this crap? Songs created by Danish-Norwegian dance pop group Aqua, came out in May of 1997, took the world by storm. It topped the charts for weeks. Europe, Canada, Australia, and the United States. As of April 2017, Barbie Girl sold more than 8 million copies worldwide and 1.8 million in the UK alone. Here's the interesting part. Mattel, the American toy company, corporate owners, and they are owners of the brand name Barbie, sued MCA Records, the recording of Aqua, but for this recording, they allege that the song violated the Barbie trademark, turned her into a sex object, which is so ironic because Barbie is a sex object.
Right.
Barbie is how little girls learn what is sexually appealing.
It's fucked up.
It's been like that forever. Like, okay, just deal with it. You know what I mean? I mean, and it's and Barbie's not far off, right, Kevin? Like, I mean, right? That's why y'all like. And I'm looking at Bertia's picture here. She's got a little makeup on. She's got her hair fixed nice and everything like that.
Sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Why are you doing that?
Come on now. Come on now.
Because you want to be attractive.
Right.
Okay, that's just what it is.
That's right. Let's write an article on
So
her.
Mattel's mad. Mattel stated that these lyrics tarnish the reputation of their trademark doll.
Wah.
Okay, so this whole thing is like, she doesn't get this.
No.
She's like, is anyone surprised the owner of a kid's toy that didn't want over sexually derogatory song be such with their child-centric theme? Well, yeah, I can understand that, but it's like, I mean, that's what Barbie is. In any case, the lawsuit filed by Mattel was dismissed in 2002. Judge ruled the song was protected as a parody, and that's exactly
There
okay.
you
Now
go.
we're getting to what the meaning of
see?
the song is. It's the song is a social satire
It's just a
about
joke.
being plastic, about being fake, about like all and just using these sort of superficial things to like build a relationship on, and how silly that is. is.
It's a joke.
Did you
isn't
ever
it?
watch I watched the video. You guys were outside having a cigarette. I watched the video. It's obviously
Oh, yeah, I've
it's
seen it
not
many
serious.
Yeah, right?
You know what I mean? Like honestly, like it. If Weird Al would have done it, nobody would have batted an eye.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then she goes on to criticize the band for like, oh, they, like it's an interrogation. Like, well, they're all over the place about the meaning. They, like they say this one time, it says, they're fucking musicians. They're wasted out on drugs. They don't know, like, from 1 minute to the next what the song's about. They wrote the song. They made some money. Come on.
They're happy.
Do you know how hard it is to get like anything going on in the fucking music business? They were probably just happy that like they were probably like, look, Mom, remember we said like I would never make any money at this?
Look at this.
Look at this. Here's a new car. Like, I mean, crime on knee. Talk about like taking shit too seriously. But eventually,
Yes.
Mattel saw an opportunity.
Oh, did they?
And they did like rework the lyrics and used it.
Uh-huh.
They did a new version.
Oh, did
You can be a star no matter who you are. They changed some of the lyrics.
Oh.
And so they took the judge's advice, and just said, okay, this is just parody.
Yep.
And she goes on to say that she only heard the twisted version. Like, are you scarred? Like, here's the. I should have known. I didn't read the byline at the end. This is the Virago. We are a community of strong women who share our personal stories about how we've survived and thrived in our lives.
Yes.
We share messages to now. That's great and everything.
Yeah, God bless
but this insinuation is that
going a
somehow
little
this woman was traumatized or something and need to go to therapy over this song. Like, come on. What that does is that makes when somebody is really a survivor, like
needs
breast
help. Yeah,
cancer
right,
or rape
right.
or something like that, that lumps them into the same category as these pussy ass pansies who are like saying they need therapy over a fucking pop song that was out for 5 minutes
Right.
in 1997.
And what'd she say? She was 7 years old? Well, you blame your parents then.
Yeah.
If you were listening to that
Yeah.
song.
Yeah, calm down. You're out of control. Somebody stop me. I'm laughing my ass off at you, and you're reading of music lyrics.
I don't know who that is.
I think that's a Facebook user. This is all the stuff. Sometimes I get the names on here, like William Keane. His name shows up, but a lot of these just say Facebook user on this end. I'm not sure.
Maybe that's their name.
Mike
Weird.
Yeah, I can't see that one on here.
Anyways, guys, so cool. So that was lyric time.
Which was always
It's
a good time.
lyric
Yeah,
time.
with Loudini. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that.
That's beautiful.
And now it is time for our final segment.
Yes.
What did the Beatles do?
It's called "What Did the Beatles Do Today?"
This day in music, or what did the
And
Beatles do?
there's the second one is the Beatles.
Of course.
But we will talk about somebody who predates the Beatles. This is what
What? No, I don't.
This is the beginning right here. 1958, Buddy Holly kicked off the first night of a 43-date tour at Brooklyn Paramount Theater in Brooklyn, New York. Alan Freed's Big Beat Show also featured Jerry Lee Lewis, Chuck Berry, Frankie Lyman, The Diamonds, Billy Ford, Danny and the Juniors, The Chantels, Larry Williams, Screaming Jay Hawkins, The Pastels, Joanne Campbell, and Ed Townsend. On most days, the acts played 2 shows.
Wow.
He was Slave Driver, man. It was like you were really schlepping it out in those days.
Oh, look, back to back.
So we got the Beatles twice. Madame Tussauds London unveiled waxworks images of the Beatles in 1964.
Wow.
First pop stars ever to be honored
Really?
at Madame Tussauds. 1967 was a great year. That was the year that I was born. Working on sessions for the new Beatles album, Sgt. Pepper, at the Abbey Road studio in London. John Lennon recorded his lead vocal for Good Morning, Good Morning, and Paul McCartney added lead guitar solo to the track. Staying 1968, Pink Floyd recorded a performance on BBC Two, the TV omnibus, The Sound of Change show from Barnes Common, London, England. The special, which was produced by Tony Palmer, also featured performances by The Who, Cream, And the Jimi Hendrix Experience, the show, was later broadcast in September of this year. This is what was on television in England in 1968.
Yeah.
Pink Floyd, The Who, Cream, and Jimi Hendrix. Like, you know, that is must-see TV.
Right?
I don't know if anybody gets that reference or not. And this day in 1970, Simon and Garfunkel, not Garfunkel Oates. Sorry.
No.
Were at number 1 on the UK singles charts with Bridge Over Troubled Water.
Ooh.
The duo's only UK number 1 hit. Only Art Garfunkel sang on the track, so Paul Simon did not sing on it. Yeah, that was something that Paul Simon talked about, like when he went solo, because Art was the guy with the really big range and everything vocal wise. But look whose solo career
Took off.
It's like really took off. Led Zeppelin released their 5th studio album this day in 1973, Houses of the Holy, which does not contain the song Houses of the Holy.
Really?
Magic.
The album title was dedicated by the band. Was a dedication by the band to their fans who appeared at the venues they dubbed Houses of the Holy. The cover was a collage of several photographs which were taken at the Giant's Causeway, Northern Ireland. The 2 children who modeled for the cover were siblings Stefan and Samantha Gates. Phil Collins, Genesis, began their first North American tour on this day in 1976 as Peter Gabriel left the band, appearing in Buffalo, New York, with Phil Collins taking over as lead singer. Go Phil! And he really went on, right?
Yeah.
You know, I was in a restaurant Sunday morning, and I'm listening to this song, like it was kind of noisy, and it was why does it always seem to be me looking at you looking at me?
Yeah.
It's always the same. It's just a shame. That's all.
Yep.
Yeah. And I was like, damn, we got to do something with Phil Collins and Genesis. We haven't
There
done
you
like
go.
a
I don't
Phil
think we
Collins
have,
Genesis
yeah.
thing.
There
Maybe
you
we
go.
should pick like the 10 Phil Collins Genesis songs that look rock or something like that. On this day in 1981.
Oh, what a great year.
Yeah.
Is it another great year?
Yeah, I was down at the Roller Skate. Blondie started a 2-week run at number 1 on the U.S. singles charts with Rapture.
Wow.
I like
For
that
it's
song.
the first song to feature rap.
Yeah. Well, 81?
You know, like on a big hit.
Yeah, like a big hit. Yeah.
Song U.S. Feature rap lyrics, notably name-checking hip-hopsters, pioneers Fab Five, Freddie, and the Grandmaster Flash.
Nice.
This day in 1982, David Crosby was arrested after crashing his car on San Diego Highway. Police also found cocaine and a pistol.
Oh, pistola.
When the police asked Crosby why he carried the gun, his reply was John Lennon. That's
you
the
know
best
what?
part of that story.
Gotta give you that.
That's probably the best part
Gotta
of that
give you that
story.
one.
Oh, man, Ozzy. This day in 92, $100,000 worth of damage was caused at the Irvine Meadows Amphitheater, California, when Ozzy Osbourne invited the first 2 rows of the audience on stage.
Oh.
Several others took up the offer, and the band was forced to exit the stage. So, in other words, if you're like tired of
We're
playing,
outta
you
here.
want to leave, just invite the audience on the stage. All right, we can go home now. We don't have to do a 7-song encore.
Wow.
Oh, my God. Jimmy Page accepted substantial undisclosed libel damages from a magazine which claimed he had caused or contributed to the death of his Led Zeppelin bandmate John Bonham. Page's solicitor, Norman Chapman, solicitor is lawyer.
Yeah, right.
It's called a solicitor in England. Told High Court Judge Mr. Justice Moreland. So his name couldn't have been. That must be some title.
Maybe I was going to
Justice
say
Moreland has to be his
Wow.
title. That the feature in Ministry magazine printed in 1990 claimed Page was more concerned with keeping vomit off his bed than saving his friend's life, and that he stood over him wearing a Satanist robes and performing a useless spell.
Bloody hell.
That's like not, yeah. That's the magazine was called Ministry, so you can tell this was probably some Christian,
Christian.
trying to make rockers look bad. We never talk about U2 too much on this show. On this day in 2005, after playing a warm-up date the night before in Los Angeles Sports Arena, U2 kicked off their Vertigo tour at the iPay One Center in San Diego, California. 131-date world tour would see the band playing in North America, Europe, South America, Japan. By the time it finished, Vertigo Tour had sold 4,691,021 tickets, grossing $389 million, the second highest figure ever for a world tour.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was, I mean, that was kind of like the end. That was weird, closing in on the end of that big thing. But I liked their era when they returned to just, they got away from like trying to be experimental with, like some of the, and they were just like, let's just be you two and play the write songs and be a guitar, bass, and drum band, and you know what I mean. And those records are really good. Like starting with All You Can't Leave Behind, that's a fan-fucking-tastic album. So is Vertigo. It was, but they settled into like, I think something that fans kind of wanted them to do for a long time.
You don't need to talk about that.
Uh-oh.
Tina Brown. So this was a big story.
Okay, that one's okay.
We're not gonna talk about Justin Bieber.
No,
don't worry. But this is a crazy. Like this is like the days when rock was about partying and having a good time. And Tina Brown, the sister-in-law of Whitney Houston, sold pictures taken in her bathroom to the National Enquirer, claiming Whitney had been taking crack cocaine. Oh my God.
Wow.
This is her sister-in-law.
Yeah, that's great.
Great.
That sounds
family.
like a sister-in-law thing to do.
The picture.
Yeah.
The pictures showed drug paraphernalia, including crack smoking pipe. You mean a crack pipe?
Crack smoking
Rolling
pipe.
papers, cocaine caked spoons, and cigarette ends strewn across the surface tops of the bathroom.
Wow.
I remember when that was a thing.
Yep.
And then, of course, there was all kinds of parodies and stuff and goofs on Saturday Night Live, and everybody had a field day with that. On this day in 2014, well, not too long ago, the tickets for Kate Bush's first live shows in 35 years sold out in less than 15 minutes.
Wow. Huh.
Kate Bush. Bush. Yeah, I said Bush. Bush. Bush.
It just flows off your tongue.
Happy birthday this day, 1986, to Lady Gaga.
Well.
Pace.
Yeah.
Face. Something.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Steve Turner, 1965, born this day, guitarist with the band Mudhoney.
Oh. How about that?
Yeah. James Atkin from EMF was happy birthday. You have to remember, unbelievable.
Yes.
Reba McEntire, happy birthday. Country music singer. Lied like countless hits. Of course, none of them are listed here. That's great.
wow.
To help, can you help a YouTuber out, please?
Come on now.
Keyboardist Milan Williams from the Commodores.
Oh, okay.
Yep. There was a band that they said they couldn't decide on the name. And they just went around and round and round and round forever. So finally they said, we're going to open the dictionary and put a finger down wherever it lands. That's the name.
That's the
Wow.
name.
And
That's kind of
Lionel
awesome,
Richie famously said, we came very dangerously close to commode.
That would have been great.
Chuck Ports of the Turtles.
Turtle.
Okay, and Charlie McCoy, who was a session musician, worked with a bunch of people: Elvis Presley, Bob Dylan, Johnny Cash, Chad Atkins, Waylon Jennings, Loretta Lynn. Was born in the same 1941. So that is this day in music.
Yeah.
I sort of feel like we have so much more to say, but I think we've wrapped it up for.
I think so.
We did good.
I think.
Yeah.
I think we did okay. I need to. There's this other thing.
Another thing?
There's another thing playing, and it's going to give me a stroke.
No. No.
I like how he says it so calmly, though. It's going to give me a stroke.
It's going to give me a stroke.
Okay, so that was cool. Let's give a. You ever want to do any shout outs or anything before we wrap up?
I got nothing.
Okay.
Nah, me either.
So, Lily, anything coming up this week?
I will be going to Obituary on Friday at the Roxy Inn. Also, Gruesome is opening for them, so super heavy metal
You
stuff.
think?
gruesome.
They're not a country band.
No, they're not a country band.
Easy
Oh,
listening.
and actually, I'm going to the Concert for Peace for the Ukraine. Pittsburgh
Oh.
Symphony Orchestra is doing a whole concert for
Very
them, so I'm
cool.
going to on
All
Saturday.
right. I will.
That's what I think of that.
Will Smith.
So, special shout out to Will Smith for joining us in the studio. We did appreciate that. He's trying to sneak out. Nope. Sit down, Will.
Yes!
That's it. Go.
I'm a White Claw.
Nice.
I think that's a sample of Pittsburgh Kevin. Actually.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah. Where's my royalty check?
Exactly. Well, no, this is free shit.
Oh, damn it.
This is free shit.
Oh,
There he
you
is.
finally showed up. You missed the whole goddamn show.
He was napping.
He was napping.
He's old. Mm-hmm. He's like 40.
Wow. Had to pick that age, didn't ya?
And are you supposed to say, and there it is?
And there it is.
There you are.
Yep.
That's what I'm waiting for that. And there it is.
Right.
And that's the way it is. Okay, Lily's show is what?
Hot Licks with Lily 6, Thursday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, rockradio.com.
April 9th, Lithium, Nirvana tribute band that I play guitar in, will be performing at the Hard Rock Cafe, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We're doing one of those stupid tribute things where we were doing the entire
album.
The entire,
See how it all comes around?
it wasn't my idea, trust me.
All right, then.
People like it.
Yeah, we'll see.
The kids love it. Your kids are going to love it.
I just put it out there. I don't care.
All right.
So that's how it goes. Next week is the first of the month. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to commit to a title just yet. I want to talk to
us,
my
the crew.
team about
Your
it
posse.
before we
Troops.
The Motley Crew.
The Motley Crew.
All right, guys. LoudiniRockandRollCircus.com as well as LouLombardiMusic.com. I said earlier the music that you're hearing that gets played in the background, that is my original music. So if you're up for that sort of thing, you can check it out at LouLombardiMusic.com or LoudiniRockandRollCircus.com. Shout out to Wolf's Customs, wolfscustoms.online. Also find them on Facebook for custom artwork on your musical instrument. And Rock Rage Radio, who we love so much. Download the app, rockrageradio.com. It's totally free. You can hear awesome music content 24/7. It's been fun hanging out with you guys.
Always.
As always.
Until next week, stay free, and we'll catch you all on the next Loudini Rock and Roll Circus.